Is that a fact or an interpretation? Fact. That's a fact.
In our curriculum, we privilege sort of depth over breadth. So there's lots and lots of time for students to acquire a few kinds of skills that are of very high utility.
See what I did to figure that out? What did I do?
The language and thinking unit is the first 4 weeks of the semester.
In the story, Alvarez has to overcome several obstacles, including immigration and her family's expectations for her.
The authors include people such as Julia Alvarez, Malcolm X, Richard Wright, Sherman Alexie. So they come from a variety of different time periods and sort of different backgrounds.
You can use it both ways.
We want them to make personal connections to these writers' lives, and they're also responding in academic ways to the text.
It's what the author's trying to tell us.
They're looking at quotes, they're learning how to sort of paraphrase a quote, they're learning how to summarize sort of a larger text.
I feel like our definition of plot and interpretation is getting better as we go along.
And then they really build awareness of their own sort of struggles with reading and writing, what they are doing successfully, and what strategies can they borrow from other people who are successful.
It's confusion. I'll write over.
You don't want me to read it?
We shift from looking at memoir as sort of our primary text to looking at short stories.
Do you see evidence in that paragraph for the idea that the boy came of age?
And all of the short stories are around this theme of coming of age.
When the boy was running, he didn't want to face the situation. So when you are coming of age, if you have a problem, you gotta fix it.
It's sort of in keeping in line with this idea of everyone's making this transition to becoming a college student.
That coming of age doesn't have an age. You could come of age when you're 5. You could come of age over 6. Coming of age doesn't mean that you're gonna get older in 2-3 seconds.
Now we want them to do more analysis, so interpret literature.
He said, oh, he's an indolent man, which is lazy. And then when he asked him what was an indolent man, the grandfather didn't really give a straightforward answer.
Is Masood religious?
And then also, how can they find evidence for their interpretations?
There's 2 language categories, right? 5 is also language. What's the difference between these 2?
A third component to our curriculum is the practice for the CUNY assessment test in writing.
What did you think? Did he have run-ons, fragments?
That's the exam that all of them need to retake.
It's like sort of goes with a connection sentence.
That entails looking at a lot of model essays, and then they kind of analyze these models.
Spend like 5 minutes and try to write down your own thesis statement.
They also do so much in-class writing. They get feedback from their teachers. They get feedback from their peers.
This is good because you're looking very closely at the words of the quote.
It's very, very intensive.
That's how they were used to see them.
At that point of the semester, they are able to retake their exams, and some of them pass, and some of them will need a little bit of extra preparation. And for those students, they have the opportunity to take an additional practice unit of about 4 to 6 weeks where they can really zero in on the skills that they're needing to address.